Not yet.
Not
And
yet.
go. Go ahead.
Hey, how we doing, everybody? A little jank, it's fine. Ooh, you shaved, I didn't know that. Or at
Yeah,
least
I
trimmed it.
shaved.
You got
Little
trimmed.
haircut. Yeah, little haircut.
Well, welcome, everybody. We are here. We're back. We got a lot to talk about, and I'm here with my co-hosts, Kula.
What up,
And
everybody?
what happened since we last had a podcast? A specific DLC dropped, and it's got some people a little happy and a little upset,
A little
um,
salty.
a little salty. We also are we're less than a week. We're 5 days from Dawn Trail.
Yeah, 4 days
Left.
technically, but yeah.
4 days. So yeah, have you been checking the have we been checking the artwork that they drop
Oh, the
the
daily
countdown?
artwork. I haven't seen any of the daily. I saw a couple of them. I think I saw like day 16 or something after they have the.
Oh, I looked at the first like 4 or 5. I need to go look back at them.
Yeah, I'll
But
probably end up going back at some point and looking at them.
we got a couple other things we're gonna be taking care. We can talk about today as well. So mostly some. We'll be talking about the TLC. We'll talk about.
Got a couple of news things, smaller news
Yeah.
things. I think the majority of today is going to be Final Fantasy and definitely some Elden Ring discussion because
Yeah, definitely. Like a lot of the Final Fantasy is gonna be like, hey, here's what you should like know and do ahead of time. A little bit. You got. It goes down not tomorrow, the next day for maintenance. So make sure you get everything you
2-day
need done.
maintenance.
Yep. So, with that, let's talk. Well, we already started talking Final Fantasy, so let's keep talking Final Fantasy.
All right, so we had a live letter a couple weeks ago. Some really nice stuff came out of the live letter. Some really cool quality of life stuff. We can touch on that a little bit. But let's do the schedule first, and then we can talk some of the live letter stuff. So schedule, as it officially is stated, is 2 a.m. Pacific Standard Time on the 26th is the maintenance window. So that's when all servers are unavailable for that 2-day maintenance window. The estimated completion is June 28th at 2 a.m. My understanding, same Pacific Standard Time. My understanding is that they will probably, even if they're done early, they will wait until the 2 o'clock mark to bring everything back up, because obviously they want to keep to the timeline of release time. So I would expect like 5 Eastern, 2 a.m. Pacific, that servers will come back up, and you guys can start playing for early access if you have early access. We got normal raid release is or normal release if you didn't take part in the early release is July 2nd. So if you caught it after, I think it was the 21st, if I remember correctly, the 20th or the 21st, I think was the cutoff date for the early access, then you will be able to start playing on July 2nd. And then normal raids are July 16th, and Savage raids, as we expected, are July 30th. It's kind of like right on the button of what we expected it to be. A couple of us were talking about it. We expected about a month. I'm actually surprised they're giving us 2 weeks on the normal raids. They normally only give us a week. So we're getting 2 weeks of normal raids, technically 3 weeks of normal raids, right? Because you get the week that it starts, the next week, and then theoretically you can run the normals that third week right when Savage starts to get your next weapon piece for the Tombstone weapon. And then Raid Savage release is July 30th, which will be where they do the world's first competition. I think the best one that I've seen for coverage on World's First is Mogstocks. Does a really good job of doing the world's first, and that's the one I recommend. I mean, obviously people can do whatever they want, but that's the one I've seen in the past and has been very well done. I know his raid group tends to be a little bit later, so he tends to cover the raid first, world's first. So, yeah, it should be really good. Some of the quality of life stuff that they brought in, obviously, we didn't see anything on the raid finder, which means it's not coming out for at least a little bit. I'm wondering if it's going to wait for Savage. If they're going to do a big release of it on Savage, they're going to do like a mini thing I'm not really sure. They were showing it off, but they hadn't given us a when it was going to be released kind of deal. So
I could see it
that's something we're waiting on.
I could see it dropping like 0.2.
Maybe. Yeah. I mean, they might do like a small video thing where they just release it with 0.1, which would be fine with Savage, to be able to do it with Savage, which would be cool. We got the MSQ Quality of Life, which was really cool. So you can turn it on, and the people surrounding a NPC will just disappear, so that you can actively talk to the NPC. Or if and this leads me to believe that there's going to be a lot of that, like walking with the NPC, like we got a little bit of in Endwalker, because they specifically are calling it out in use for movement with NPCs. That the NPC in question that you'll be moving with the people surrounding it will disappear, basically.
I think they might also just try to make like non-cutscene like cutscenes kind of thing, where like if you just walk up to an NPC and they're just like, it has like the text bar and they're just talking like normal, they can make it just like the NPC to start walking around while you're dealing with that, instead of it just being like super static in those moments.
Yeah, definitely. I could definitely see that as well. I'm kind of pumped. Like, so the stuff looks really pretty. They were talking about the dual die channels. You can do pre-saves, so you can like save a die combination that you really like. So you can just slap it on for quick access. I'm still waiting for them to do something. I think this is another speculation, obviously, and this is my personal speculation. I think the fact that people have been begging them to do something with Glamour, if they did something with armor sets, tells me that they are working on something huge in the background for Glamour coming up. I don't know when it's going to release, but like we got like the release of more Glamour plates was like what, 3 or 4 years ago, and people are wanting it really, really bad. They want more.
Glamour plates are older than that. Glamour plates.
No, Glamour plates themselves are, but they had an increase in the number of Glamour plates.
Here's my theory on it. I think they're waiting. I think they have something planned and they have it like prepped and ready. I think they're waiting they're working on like the back end on the server and stuff like that. I think they're waiting for that because that might create more just room for the players and stuff like that. Maybe. Like figuring out some way, because it might be like, because it always like inventory slots and things like that. That's a data issue. Why your inventory slots are always limited, right? We don't want Diablo 4 where every single person in the area is loading every single one of your inventory tabs and every item in your inventory.
Right.
But my theory is that we know they're working on infrastructure, because they're doing the testing of the cloud servers, right? So maybe once infrastructure is fixed, maybe they'll updated, I guess, more the word. I feel like that's when we're gonna get like more of these like releases that might be more data and heavy.
Yeah. And that's like, I don't really want to go into too much more. Obviously, we're excited to start our summer vacation because, we deserve it after everything we've been through, after the number of tissue boxes we've had to throw away. It is time to enjoy our summer vacation. And it's nothing more than a summer vacation, and you can't convince me otherwise.
Imagine so like people were actually mad that, like, I'm one of them, that nobody died in spoilers.
Spoilers.
In Endwalker.
No one died.
Nobody died.
Spoilers.
No one died in Endwalker. No one died ever, forever and always. Everybody always lives. No, but that no one died in Endwalker. Like I'm in that, and I actually think Thancred, I think his story was at a point where it would have been appropriate for him to kind of just like fade away, and then who do we have coming in now, and that it kind of replaces Thancred as Estinian, right? In Dawntrail. Not that Estinian's a replacement for Thancred, but I felt like it would have been a good point, and a lot of people wanted like that. So just imagine if it's just like, hey, it's your summer vacation. Oh, somebody died.
So here's my issue, right? So like this is where we're going to kind of run into a problem, which is that the trust system gives these characters plot armor.
I think to some degree, but not fully. I think you can cap the character below a certain dungeon, because I mean, like you always have, like you can still walk into the Walking Sands and see Urianger pre Heavensward, right?
Not if you've gone through all those quests that he isn't there anymore.
Yeah, but I mean, like there's multiple things like this, right? Where some characters do get time frozen, do get frozen in time.
Yeah, I mean, I guess my problem is that they are like that system is built around like leveling up those characters.
Yeah, so screw it, make him cap, and then just kill him.
Yeah,
Some people get mad, but I mean, like
one.
I feel like that system is minor enough that the main story is gonna take precedence, and that system is gonna take such a backseat.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good way to think about it, I guess. Yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see where this takes us for this next round. I know for me, I'm gonna break a mold here and kind of talk about plans for the week, because this is a huge piece of that, right? For the next 2 weeks is I have the week off between the early release and that following week, so I have like 6 business days, so 10 days off that I am going to be able to play. My plan is to bust my ass through the MSQ on stream, and then just like try to rank out all of my crafters on that character, and then I'm gonna jump skip, well, not jump skip, but I'm gonna skip as much of the story as I possibly can on my alts to try to get them through, and then gear them out in preparation for Dawn Trail Savage release. That's kind of my expectation. So that's kind of where I'm at for my scheduled plan. So you'll see probably some pretty long streams coming from me next week. So the end of this weekend, next week. But yeah, that's kind of my Dawn Trail Trail expectation is just, pedal to the metal.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna wake up. I most likely won't be streaming the Dawn Trail on Friday. I might be. I will be on playing it, and speed running Viper to 90, and then doing the story on stream, of course. But yeah. I will probably go to bed right when I get home on Thursday. I'm gonna get home from work. It's gonna be like 5 p.m. and I'm gonna go to bed. And I'm gonna wake up at about 1 a.m. Have breakfast, go for like a run to wake myself up, and then log in.
Right, promptly at 2.
Right at 2. And then I'm just gonna go pick up Viper, and I am going to speed run levels as fast as I can.
Yeah, that's about right. I know Val's in here. Hey, Val. I know Val said that her plan is to, I don't know what she's running MSQ through with, but I know she said she's planning on running in English for her main, and then Japanese for her alt, if I remember correctly. Okay, so she'll be doing basically the same thing you are. She's gonna be leveling up like Viper for 10 levels, and then running in English and running in Japanese. So. Ooh.
I like playing through the expansion with the title class, because if you don't know this, leveling the title class, having the title class like leveled, at the very least, if not playing the title class, will get you different dialogue. A lot of times.
Yeah. Which is funny because like Endwalker's title class was Paladin, which wasn't even a new class.
Well, okay, title classes and / new classes. Yeah. So, like Heavensward, you got dialogue if you were if you had gone through Dragoon. That is the title class, right? Shadowbringer, you got stuff if you were. Wait, no, not Reaper. You got stuff if you were Dark Knight.
Dark Knight. Yep.
Yeah, which I guess was the title
Hey, Alex.
class. But in Stormblood, you got 2 different dialogue like extras for you got multiple actually. You got some for monk, you got some for samurai, and you got some for red mage as well.
Yeah.
And I think in Shadowbringers you also get some stuff for and I mean Shadowbringers, I think you also got some stuff for red mage as well with Alize. And I mean Endwalker, I mean every single class you leveled and every storyline you did mattered to some degree in like the story that you saw that you got.
But yeah, so I think I'm excited. It's going to be a crazy week for sure. I might come back to some Erdtree when I am in need of a break and to get my eyes off of Final Fantasy for a little bit. But for the most part, I think I'm going to be running through Dawntrail for a good chunk of time. I'm probably going to be devising a collectibles leveling jump for crafting.
I got a lot of levels to do as well. Crazy amount of leveling.
I will
you
probably
have a lot more
post
than I do.
that somewhere for anybody who wants it. To the super fast and easy way to get from level X to level Y.
I actually wonder who has. I think you have more leveling to do than I do. So I have 2 click characters. I need to level crafters on both, and I need to level all healers on both. You need to level how many ults? Like 3 or 4?
It's
How many characters do you
3.
level?
It's 3 NA characters, a JP character, and an EU character. So it's 5
characters.
But they're only 10 levels.
Yeah, because you're only doing one. How many characters are you leveling the
Crafting Gathering on?
Yeah.
To start, just my main.
Okay.
I'll do the others later because I can always have somebody mule me my tombstone items back so that I can create pots and stuff and push it back and forth. So to start, I will only do the first set because the 3 NA characters can repair, which is what I care about. I only care about repair to start for a raid, and then I'll slowly work them back up. I mean, once I have the way to do it, it'll be pretty easy to just get it done. I mean, once I have
especially once they drop the planet thing or whatever.
Yeah, the planet thing will make things a lot
fast.
easier for any characters you're leveling from nothing. So
yeah. Oh, the freaking hotbar redoing! Oh my, there's some classes because my hotbar is reset like a few months ago because I had a bug and I just lost all my hotbars and it annoyed the crap out of me. I still haven't set some of them up, and that is just because the DLC's the expansion's coming. So I'm gonna have to reset their hotbars when I level them, anyways.
yeah, this is a warning to everybody. Please upload your hotbars to the Final Fantasy server so that you don't have this problem.
I've never had this problem ever.
Yeah, well, now you do, and now you're screwed. So
I'm not screwed. I mean, I already solved the problem. But yeah. Also, some more PSAs. If you haven't yet, if you did pre-order and you haven't registered your pre-order key, go do that now. Otherwise, you won't be able to access the early access.
if you're
Plus,
on console, the pre-order bonus stuff has already been attached to your account.
Yeah, console does it automatically. Yeah, console does it automatically. If you got your pre-order earring, you're good. If you typed in the pre-order registration thing, you got the earring already, you're fine. Another housekeeping thing: if you want the Mountain Zoo and you've stockpiled all your Mountain Dew bottle caps, make sure you cash in those in so you can cash it in for the Mountain Zoo when the expansion drops. I don't know if it's actually the full expansion release or the early access when the Mountain Zoo is available. Do you know?
I believe it's full release because I remember it being a July date.
Okay. And one more a couple other housekeeping things. Remind everybody, clean up your inventory. You're going to get flooded with item chests as you do all the quests, and flooded with every dungeon you do is going to give you equipment. Make sure you're cleaning out your whole inventory as much as you can. Fill that glamour dresser up. Fill your retainers up a little bit if you want to like save some of that gear. Arc isn't released until full release. I don't know what Arc is. What is that? ARK? And
no, we're talking about the Mountain Dew bonus.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And then the mount. I got you, man. Yeah, the special edition one. Last little bit of housekeeping. If you're like me and you want to level up really fast right out the gate, today pick up a Wondrous Tales. It'll be good. You can turn it in on Friday on the new class. That's a half a level instantly. You just go after you pick up the class. You can turn it in instantly for that instant half of 80 to 81, and you can go do Arxidara for the rest of it, and hit 81 almost instantly. You can do that right now.
Correct.
Yes, they're locking out. Yeah, they're locking out 100%. That's another housekeeping thing. Make sure you're on your home server. Most likely, they're stopping
data center travel.
DC travel. Yeah.
For a short bit, yeah.
Yeah, for a short while. It's just to help with congestion. If you've never been here for an expansion launch, there's a reason why there's a meme called Rob on Savage. That problem has been fixed, but you will have login will be your longest queue time. You're gonna be trying to get into dungeons. They're gonna be instant pops. Logging in, click the login button and then go take a shower. You might be logged in by the time you come back.
They said that they prepared for this expansion, so it may not be as bad. Because last expansion was the first time that had ever been an issue, that it had been that bad.
I was here for Heaven's Word, Stormblood, and Shadowbringers. Nope, offline.
Oh, son of it. Okay, it should be coming back on in just a second. It just started pouring through. Okay, we're back. Okay, sorry about that, guys.
We're back.
Weird. That was strange. I don't know what just happened.
Yo, internet just crapped out.
Yeah, but internet just went no.
Yeah, I've been here for every expansion. Yeah. It could be just server connection because we're like crossing a lot of wires too.
Could be. Yeah, it was because I haven't been on for every expansion. From what I had gathered, they said it was significantly worse for Endwalker, and then they made preparations to fix that issue.
I think this is mostly Endwalker probably had the largest number of players at launch.
Right. Yeah, it was it was hours of wait. It was multiple hours.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, no, it wasn't that bad. It was like half an hour. Like when I was saying like you're gonna try and click it, log in, and then you went and you can go use the restroom, go take a shower, and you come back, you might be logged in. But if
this one was like you could go to the store, go to get groceries, come back, and you were still waiting to get. You were still multiple thousands.
That was the queue time for Rabon in Shadow and in Stormblood. But, that's the reason why they added instances.
Anyways, let's see. I think that's about it for. Yeah. That's about right, Val. I think that is. We're gonna snooze this ad.
No.
I know, really. Everything got restarted, so I was like, no. Okay, so a couple of smaller topics before we jump into our largest topic. Silk Song. Bard, do your traditional.
It's not real.
It's not real.
It's not real. It's
Silk Song has gotten a minor update. It's not super big, but it is enough to keep people tantalizingly prepared. One of the game testers has come out and said that it is not in development hell like everybody seems to think it is. It is moving in the direction it's expecting to be, and yeah, we should know more soon. It's not real. It's not real.
That guy's a paid actor.
Wait, that article is in honor of Harley, because I know Harley is waiting for Silk Song more than probably anybody else in this chat.
Paid actor.
Paid actor.
It's not real. The Silk Song doesn't exist. Everything you've been looking at has been pre-rendered.
Pre-rendered. All the trailers, everything pre-rendered.
There's no actual gameplay.
It's not an actual real game. It's actually a mod over Hollow Knight.
I mean, it was supposed to be a DLC. That's how
I know it was.
No, it's not the Hollow Knight DLC.
It's not Hollow Knight DLC. Because it doesn't exist. Silk Song is its own game. It is its own game.
It was supposed to be a DLC, and then they got Hollow Knight blew up so much that they were just like, let's make our own game.
5 years ago. Yeah, 5 years ago.
Yeah, and then they all went to the Bahamas and never came back, and it's not real.
Hollow Knight is very good. If you have not played Hollow Knight and you like Metroidvanias, please play Hollow Knight. It is one of the best Metroidvanias out there. It's very, very good. And Silk Song has gotten a pre-order sticker tag on all of the marketplaces for every console. So it is a real thing, and it does exist. We just don't know when it's going to be out. Unless
Xbox
you're
did it on its own.
it doesn't exist.
Like Team Cherry had to do damage control because Xbox did that, and everyone was just like, "Oh my god, it's coming out!" And Team Cherry had to be like, "Hey, no, Xbox did that on their own. We did not want them to do that." So no.
And then PlayStation did it, and then Nintendo did it. So like all three of the major console providers. I think Steam has it on there as a pre-order as well as like a potential pre-order.
It's a lie.
It's all a lie. It's fine.
You know what? The real thing
what's
is
going on? What's going on with Starfield?
Oh, Starfield? So fucking Bethesda, the kings of microtransactions, horse armor god, have in their wisdom decided to make mods cost money. Their mod so they have the creator pack that allows people to create mods and stuff like that. There's always been like, hey, if you want to support my mod, give donations like that, right? Well, Bethesda kind of wanted some of that money, so
of course they
did. So the creator pack now you can actively buy mods on there, and it is paid. It is so you have to pay for the mod, and the creator gets 25% of the money you spend. The big kick why people are really mad about this is because there was a story, there's a quest line that these people this one guy that was releasing. He released one quest that was a mod, and people liked it. And then the second one came out, and that's $7 for a single small little quest. That's a mod. That's not official release from Bethesda, and Bethesda's taken 75% of it. People are mad, and that's just the start. That's one mod. Who knows all the rest of the stuff, right? And like, there's gonna be quality of life mods, and it's gonna be like $5 for this like fast travel mod.
Pay the price of the game over again to get this awesome mod.
Yeah, and it's gonna be stuff where, and most people are saying this like, hey, you should just, if a mod actually improves the game, just add it to the base game. Well, I have no gripe with mod creators, but like them making it like cost money. But yeah, okay, so like I have two examples of this. One is why can't I think of the name of that game? It is a Diablo like
Diablo-like.
The second one's coming out. What the hell? I can't think of the name of this game.
The Diablo-like. The second one's
Path of Exile. Path of Exile. So there was people. Yes, thank you, Capro. So people often and most people ran with a very specific macro, or like they'd set up their own macros in order to use potions really, really effectively, and we're like essentially modding the game. And the developers saw that and was just like, hey, you guys are all doing this. Obviously it's optimal. Obviously it's a better design. So let's just make it the design. And they added it to the game, and everybody was happy. Another example of this, even though I hate digital extremes, this was back when I liked digital extremes, and this is an example of how they were good before. Um, there was exploit that people could do with a specific melee weapon, where if they jumped in the air and they meleeed, they could glide, and you could essentially make your character fly across the screen with it. And and
That's
they
fantastic.
well, they added that to the game. They called it bullet jumping, and they made it so like if you crouch and then jump, you launch yourself across the screen, and then if you melee while you're bullet jumping, you extend the distance. That is a great example of, hey, if there's an exploit that makes the game better, if there's a mod that makes the game better, instead of being mad that people do that, just add it to the game. Hey, you know, like what a lot of people are asking for in Final Fantasy 14 as well, with the simming, right?
Thank you, Benny.
Add a sim thing. Did I miss like one of the messages?
Yeah, Benny
no.
jumped in, said loves you, and then hit
Oh,
her.
I thought it was a different message that I missed as well. But
No.
yeah, so that's most people are really mad and are just like shouting that at Bethesda. And Starfield, I think, is mostly negative on Steam now.
Yeah,
I think
that doesn't surprise me.
it was already
It
like
was pretty. It was pretty mixed, wasn't it, for a while? Because people were kind of like, meh.
Yeah, I mean it's Starfield. It's I mean
It's
like they
it's a
weren't bored when
Microsoft
they
new
went to the
IP.
moon.
That's what it is.
I mean, they weren't bored when they went to the moon, right? So
Yeah, no kidding. Yeah, so I will reiterate my stance on microtransactions. If you pay full price for a game, your microtransaction should be less than $1 or not exist at all.
yeah.
That is my 100% stance. I will stick with it. I will stay on it.
So I will say this is a good example, and I'm gonna bring up Warframe again. It's Digital Extremes. If you didn't know that was the game I was referencing when I said Digital Extremes. They have I can't remember what they call it, but they have a store that is all skins, cosmetic skins, created. They're featured mods from the community. So they take people who create mods for the game will give the fucking words, man. They'll give their skins to Digital Extremes and be like, hey, like, do you like this skin? And then they'll look at the skin and be like, hey, that's a really cool skin. Let's put it on our store now. And then you get some of the money, or you get most of the money. And I think that's a cool idea, specifically because it's just cosmetics. It's nothing like actually like adding to the game, like a whole quest line or quality of life upgrades or different things like that. Like there's a whole DLSS support or DLS5 support. There's a specific graphics card available software support mod that is not native to the actual base game. That is a mod that you can download in there, and I think that costs like $30.
Okay.
Which is originally one thing people were really mad about.
Yeah, so yes, I agree. So I think the one company that I think have both kind of agreed on that has done this well is, I know you didn't play this game, but Helldivers 2 did a microtransaction well. It wasn't overly priced. The game already wasn't a full price game, right? It wasn't a full AAA price game. It was like $40, which is close, but not bad. And everything that you could buy with the banner thing that they were releasing, you could just earn the points by playing the game. So
yeah, that's a great most of them, that's like the best way to deal with stuff.
So
Allow people to pay with convenience or be able to play through to get the items anyways.
Yeah. But yeah, so again, we take a pretty hard stance on microtransactions. I feel like the new norm, and I meant to say this before with the Helldivers thing, is I think the new norm is people are gonna buy a game, and then if things happen that are bad, they're just gonna review bomb it. I think it's gonna be the new like, hey, we don't like this, review bombed, and then it's gonna force people's hands because Obviously, review bombs affect the bottom dollar because if people see bad reviews, then they don't want to play. So, speaking of getting bad reviews and not wanting to play,
Yeah.
we'll talk about our big subject for today, which is that if you haven't been living under a rock, Bard has been playing the majority of Elden Ring, the DLC, and yeah, there have been some mixed reviews. People are not happy.
I am absolutely loving it. But yes, people are not happy.
Actually, before we get into that, let me answer Alex's question.
Yeah.
In some gacha games, yes, I would equate
Gacha.
that to predatory gambling. Like gacha games like Honkai Star Rail and those where you have to buy the rolls in order to be able to get the triple whatever.
Yeah, I would say gacha games and loot boxes that you can't earn easily just by playing the game.
Yes. Sorry, I didn't mean to divert, but Alex asked a question.
Yeah. I read it and I came up with my answer. I just didn't answer.
In your head, and you just didn't say.
Oh shit!
What'd you do?
Up. I dropped.
What'd
my
you
ring
do?
light.
You broke it. My immersion.
I did break it.
You're breaking my immersion. Stop
I
it.
broken it. Now the white balance is gonna be all fucked up for a couple seconds.
It's all good. It's all good, Alex. I just wanted to touch on it because I want to make sure that this podcast we are clear on this stance. Microtransactions suck and they shouldn't be there. And if you pay full price for a game, they shouldn't exist. If you choose to play a free game and want to spend money on gacha games, that's on you. But it is predatory gambling because you are paying for rolls in order to be able to get new things. It's not really a pay to win because it's not really a PvP game, but it's definitely a predatory gambling mentality. You're paying to potentially roll on a percentage.
Okay, here's one thing. So we're talking about Elden Ring. The next statement out of my mouth is going to be, people are mad because it's hard.
Yeah.
Which is, whoa, oh my god, a Souls game is hard? So here's one thing I want to say. Do you know how much fucking money FromSoft would make if they just added, like, a way to, like, just, like, double your damage? And it costs,
oh my god.
like... If it costs, like, $40, here, double your damage, $40.
Okay, let's be fair. Capro, that is true, but not true. Okay, so... I'm gonna give you a streamer, and I'm not gonna tell you who it is, but we're gonna talk about what this streamer walked into Elden Ring saying he was gonna do, and then for a couple of fights had to break off from what he was gonna do in order to be able to get past the fight. So there was this streamer, and we won't name him right now. We'll let this thing slide a little bit. And he went in and said, "I'm gonna beat every boss by myself. I'm not gonna have any help whatsoever. I'm not gonna bring spirits in. I'm not gonna do anything wonky and weird. I'm gonna fight these fights." And he hit a couple of fights that he just couldn't beat because he couldn't dodge fast enough and brought in a couple spirits. Now, yes, it wasn't another person, but it was a spirit, and he went against everything that he was what he wanted to do because it was hard. Can we guess who that person is?
I don't know.
This guy right here. This guy right over here. This Gibbons guy.
Oh, I mean, like, I used the spirit on 3 of the bosses in the entire DLC, I think.
Yeah, after you beat your head against the wall trying to do it without.
Oh, well, yeah. It's a really hard DLC, but I'm also not, like, I'm not sitting here. So I was literally about to say, like, yes, people are mad because they're bad. That's true. And
it's true.
They're actively handicapping
relentless.
themselves.
Yeah.
I actively handicap myself still because you know what I don't do? I don't use a bleed build.
Yeah.
I use a faith build, and every fucking yes, that thunder goat killed me like more than some bosses did. The
You're talking about
goat.
the purple the fissure?
No, the big ass goat.
What big ass goat?
There's a big ass goat. They're the big ass gold goats that do like the lightning rolls.
Oh, okay. I don't know what you're talking. I know what you're talking about now. Okay, got it.
That thing has killed me more than some of the bosses in there. I think I've died like 10 times to that. A lot of the bosses, I one shot some of them. I like did some of them in like 5. Yeah, that goat fucked me. That's the real reason I think people are mad. It's because the normal enemies are like two-shotting you.
I mean, they made a mechanic, but okay. So like, this is the one of the articles that I pulled up for Shadow of the Erdtree is like FromSoft very gently rips on every single fighter. It was like like they had one Twitter post in the last few days, and it's like, level up your specialty item thing and you won't get one-shotted. Like that's basically
So here's the thing. Bosses level up with you with that blessing, by the way.
oh fun.
And so it makes the normal enemies easier to deal with. Yes, bosses, the shadow blessing doesn't actually help you against bosses.
Good to know.
Yeah. It does actually actively increase your stats. I actually got confused because I was using this one like armor set, and I was like, wow, this armor set has really good stats, and I'm light. How the fuck is this happening? I went back to base game, and I was like, why are my stats so bad?
Yeah.
Because I didn't realize that it actually like showed you could actually see your stats increase as you use the blessing.
Yeah, it's been. I am trash when it comes to Souls games. I will be the very first one to admit it. I fight bosses with help as much as I possibly can. If I can pull two people in randomly, I will. If I can just wait for Bard and Pedro to get through, then I will. But I'm really bad at them. I love this DLC. I think it's gorgeous. I think they did such a good job with it. I think the story is very compelling. They've done a really good job of like fleshing out the NPCs to the fullest extent. This game feels like it could have been its own game. It could have been Elden Ring 2, and it would have been just as good as an Elden Ring 2 as it's been right now.
It really is. It's almost the size of the base game. It's huge.
Yeah.
It's it's really good. I'm loving it. There's a lot of callbacks to previous games, which is like a huge like boon to like people like me. Like fucking the Fisher boss is essentially I don't really have a hard time with it. I think I fought it like 3 times. It's essentially just Orphan of Cause on horseback. Then there's another boss. I'm not going to mention who they are, but they're effectively Abridus, which is another Bloodborne boss in Rom's boss room. And then after you come out of there, you fight. There's another person who's insane and acts exactly like Nikolash, which is another Bloodborne boss. The abyss area has winter lanterns. I'm gushing over here over all the Bloodborne, and I'm so happy with all of it. It's so great. And then we have an NPC. One of the NPCs that invades you and you fight. His name is a reference to a Dark Souls 1 boss, and then the rot boss in the game is effectively like a little bit different version of a Dark Souls 1 and a Dark Souls 2 boss. And all that's Quelig, if you know Dark Souls 1. Yep. But it's so
they had a character
good.
almost named Quelig.
That's what I was saying. The NPC, he's a reference to Quelig.
Oh, okay.
And then the rot boss looks almost exactly like Quelig, only it's like a centipede scorpion instead of a spider.
Yeah. Yeah, they did a really good job with this one.
Oh yeah. To be honest, I've gone back to the base game for like a couple little things to like run around, and every single time I go back to the base game, I don't want to be there. I just want to go. I just want to go right back to the DLC. It is so much fun, and it really feels like there's just so much added.
There's so much to do. There's still stuff that people are still trying to figure out. It's great.
There's so many spells. There's so many little hidden areas. If you like exploration, the DLC is insane on exploration.
Yeah.
Mostly because some of the areas are a fucking pain in the ass to find. Oh my god, you can see them on your map, and you can like
just gotta cave upon cave upon cave upon cave.
You can run in the direction of the area you want to go as much as you want, and you won't get there because you have to go to the other fucking side of the map to get there. Go all the way to the other side of the map, and then run through a giant like cave tunnel that goes all the way through the rest of the map, and then hey, now I'm here.
Yeah, it's been good. It's been really solid.
Yeah.
It's been super fun to play. Just kind of running around trying to deal with things and whatnot. That's been really fun. So I've been thoroughly enjoying myself for sure.
Yeah, it's really good, and I think it's given something for everybody. Is one of the big things. I do feel like as a Faith player, I was shit on a little bit more in the base game, mostly because every single boss is at the end of the game is holy resistant. Makes it so fucking hard. Millennia, um, uh, Godfrey,
Yes,
Radagon,
that is
and
correct. That is
the
funny.
Elden Beasts are all holy resistant. A whole section of the map is locked behind having to do a certain emote at a certain point. Dude, oh my god. Okay, so there's a developer note which you can find it throughout any Souls game or most Souls games. It looks like a normal message, but it's like elevated. It has like an extra glow to it or something like that. There's one of those in that room. I read it. It didn't really give me a hint. It was just like, oh, woe to the people, to the shamans, is what it said, or something like that. Had it just had, which they've done in the past, had a little spectral thing of a character doing the emote right there, it would have solved it. I spent so long trying to find that northeast section of the map. It drove me insane. And I actually had I think Blackmore told me what to do because I was looking for so fucking long.
The
He said,
Northwest one was the one that got you for a while too.
well, yeah, the Northwest one I had. Yeah, I eventually found the hole, but yeah. So Blackmore came in. He's like, "Do you have the Oh Mother emote?" And I was like, because we were talking about it. He said he looked it up, and then after he watched me beat my head against the wall for like half an hour trying to find it, he asked if I had the Oh Mother emote, and I was like, "Are you fucking kidding me?" And I knew exactly where to do it and what to do it. I ran straight to that fucking place, and I did the emote, and then all of a sudden the fucking wall
Door
opens up, and
opened
I'm
right
like,
up
"Fuck."
to your favorite area, Bard. It opened to your favorite area.
The funny thing is you're making a joke.
I am making a joke.
But it actually did open up to my favorite area.
It opened to the finger place that you love the little enemies from the finger place.
There's the little flower village, and it has like the opening theme for Elden Ring opening theme, but only the harp, and it's really pretty and it's so beautiful.
And then you step further, and you get
God,
the
I
little
hate
leeches.
the fucking finger place.
And you get the little finger leeches, and then the ones that bind you, and then summon a little leech guy to fall right on top of you. They're the
fact
best.
the fact that one summons on top of you
After you get bound, love it.
my god. It
I
knocks you off
literally
your
had to
horse.
I literally
an
just took
infinite
my bow
range.
out and just shot from afar. I like peeked, shot, head, peeked, shot. I was like, this is gonna take me 20 minutes. I don't care.
The spell, it has so much range. It is insane.
It's
I got
insane.
sniped from across the fucking map there.
Yeah.
So, if you don't know, I have a leech phobia. I can't fucking handle that shit. I don't. I actually think I got away. I think it killed me like once or twice. But like, the instant I was doing okay. Anytime it grabbed me, I just closed my eyes. And
When
I had
you
to, like,
first
guess
when you
if it
first
released me.
encountered them for the first part of the finger spell, like not the second part where they have the bind spell, but the first one, you're like, ooh, I don't know if I remember watching this, and I was like, he goes, ooh, I don't know if I like this enemy, and then all of a sudden it like came at you like your screen, and you were like, oh, I just got a good look at this. I really don't like this enemy. I hate leeches, and I was like, oh, dude, you get fucked.
They're like more like lampreys, but they're just because they're like long and skinnier. But like, oh, I hate it so much. And the spells they do make it so much worse.
The binding spell. You're like, I already hate leeches, and now you're binding me and summoning a leech right on top of me. Got it.
I dealt with the first finger area, the one in the southeast, really easily.
You just run away.
I didn't get grabbed a single time. Oh, I killed a lot of them too. I was able to deal with it. So one thing, like Dark Souls 1 has actual leeches, has giant actual leeches. Now it's Dark Souls 1, so they're like pretty pixelated and they don't really look too much like leeches.
But
There's
this
leeches.
game, they look
There's leeches in Final
really
Fantasy,
real.
but they're like very cartoony, so I can deal with it. But you know what they also don't do? They don't show you the fucking mouth gripping on top of your head. Could not do it.
They've had so the game. The one thing I really like about the game is like the main keep, right? The Shadow Keep has multiple entrances that you can get to it, and you can kind of like Barnett. Like like you had missed a boss in the keep, and I was like, I was trying to be like because I'd stumbled on it. Like I just happened to like fall into it, and I was like, oh. That's there. Okay, cool.
Well,
and
there's different sections to the keep. So I did the entire east section of the keep. Right. I didn't do the main entrance of the keep and the whole main.
Well, you missed the one in the shop area. Because you fought him. You fought him last before you went off and did other things out of the keep. It was after you had done the front door boss. It was Mesmer. Sorry, it was Mesmer.
Yeah. Well,
you did Mesmer late because you hadn't found him.
Like I said, he's the main entrance one. And if you go through the whole Shadow Keep, all the way through the Shadow Keep, from the main entrance that way, you can get to him
from the side entrance. That's how I got to him.
Well, okay, so you end up in the storehouse. So if you do like a weird jump, you might end up in the other section of the storehouse that way. But if you don't like fall off and you just follow that path as it is, it doesn't connect to the other side of the storehouse.
Yeah.
Unless you do like a weird parkour to jump it. The storehouses are there's if there's the same area, it's the storehouse. There's two separate paths, and separate paths don't overlap. Like they layer, but they don't actually like you can't like just take a left in this one path and then end up on the other one. They don't actually bridge and connect.
Right. Yeah. You had to hit it from two sides, but yeah.
Yeah. But no, it's but yeah, there's a lot of secrets too because you could
tons
completely miss a whole section of a complete massive section of the game if you just didn't go down a ladder in the Shadow Keep.
Right. Well, and then the other thing I realized is you can lock yourself. It's not really a lock, but it makes the area much harder to get the fourth floor grace if you pull the lever too soon. Because if you pull the lever and you spin the room,
yeah,
then where you could run up the human and get to the top where that grace isn't there anymore, and you can't flip it back.
Oh, I'm pretty sure you can flip it back. Is it the same lever?
It's not. No, because I tried going back to the lever and it wouldn't let me pull it again.
Oh, okay.
But you can go through an area and then drop down. You just have to put on the item that like
cat ring.
The cat ring, or there's an item you can like use that gives you basically cat ring.
Oh, okay.
Capabilities. There's a cloud. It's like cloud something.
I don't remember that. Oh yeah. No, it's like cotton.
Yeah, it's like the cotton cloud or something like that. Yeah. And it keeps you from getting hurt.
Yeah, I don't think I ever used that. I just always used the cat and the cat talisman.
Yeah. But yeah.
But so a couple of problems I've seen with the DLC. One, if you're playing on console, from every person I've talked to who's playing on console, there's when you load up the game and the DLC drops, it says, "Hey, there's a new tab in your inventory called Recent. It'll show you all the recent items you get." Not on console, apparently. I haven't heard anyone talk about this. I haven't heard anyone talk about this. I don't have it. I've seen the tab on someone else's stream and he's playing on PC. Kula says he doesn't have it. I haven't asked a couple of my other friends who are also on console, but as far as I can tell, console just doesn't have that tab for some reason, even though it says it's a thing.
It'd be incredibly useful, to be fair.
Oh yeah, and then there's some people are having stability issues, just naturally with their own game. Some people yesterday, myself included, were having network issues. I think that's just the amount of people playing though. Yep. And there's my main gripe with it. I hope there's gonna be some patches that fix this. There's some weird There's some really weird worded stuff. I think the localization team, some of the items or descriptions are a little funky, and so I hope some of those get like reworded. But so that's all very very minor stuff in comparison to the DLC. Super fun.
Yeah, the DLC is super fun. I think the coolest, I don't want to say the coolest weapon item so far, there are a lot of really good weapon items, but for casters, they brought the one that can do incantations and sorceries.
Oh yeah, every other Souls game has one of those. It's really good. Did Pedro give you one?
He did. He dropped me one.
Okay, yeah, because I was like, because I know you haven't beaten the boss that actually gives that.
Yeah, no, he dropped it for me. He's like, I was like, Bart said something about a thing, and he was like, oh yeah, I can drop that. He gave that to me. I duped it already. I was like, okay.
Yeah, yeah. So that is a really good item. It obviously it has lower scaling than if you just had like the strongest staff or the strongest seal, but the fact that you can do both, and it still has really good scaling, and it has
still pretty good scaling. Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, it's like barely weaker. Like the incant scaling on it, I think for me right now is like 330 or 340, and then the highest incant scaling I have is like 350. So it's like barely weaker. It's
barely weaker, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's been really good.
Yeah, all the Ashes of War, all the bosses. I like that there's so many NPCs as well. That's one of the great things about this DLC. A lot of other Souls game DLCs, there's like 1 or 2 NPCs added. This one has added so many, a ton.
And they each have their own storyline, and you can really screw yourself on storyline if you're not paying attention.
Oh yeah, so I know I've fucked up. I know I've messed up the horn scent.
Yep.
I've done Ansbach's correctly as far as I know. I don't think I've messed up Freya's, even though her dialogue just stunted right now, so I need to do something else. And then Dale, the priest, he still won't talk to me, but he hasn't gone away.
Oh, Dryleaf Dane?
Yeah, Dryleaf Dane, yeah. So I don't know. I don't think I've messed up his quest, but he's.
What was the other one that you said that you absolutely 100% messed up? There was the guy on the cliff, the St. Jude or whatever. Not St. Jude. The
on the cliff. Wait, no, Tholier? No, I didn't mess up their quest at all.
Oh, okay.
So off stream yesterday, I went back to the Fisher because I beat that boss a while ago. It only took me a couple times, and then I finally went back and talked to Tholier, and then I advanced him forward, and then I went and checked where he would go next, and then he ended up down there at the Fisher boss, and he ended up where he was supposed to be.
The purple.
Yeah, and then I had exhausted his dialogue.
Let's do this. Just so we can make life easier for ourselves. Everything from here on out is spoiler. If you don't want to be spoiled on the story, you have 3 seconds to change the stream. We're going into spoiler territory. I don't want to ruin.
I was gonna say this without spoiling anything.
We can move into spoilies. That's not a big deal.
Okay.
So this is your warning. Give it a second for you guys to mosey your way out. Love y'all, and I want you to be here. But if you don't want to be spoiled, don't stick around.
So
everybody who is here is welcoming spoilers.
So there's an NPC down there in the Fisher that's already there instantly, and then you get Tholier down in there as well.
Yeah.
Tholier's dialogue was stunted, and I couldn't get it anywhere. And I tried a couple things, and I couldn't advance it. You have to kill yourself. Not once, not twice, like 4 or 5 times in a row. And then all of a sudden you get a dialogue, and it was big. It was a big lore drop. It was really big. I was like, oh shit. And it happened off fucking stream. I was like, no. But yeah, there's some big fucking lore drop that happens there. And then you can advance their quest line. And then you can talk to him and be like, hey, this is what I just found out, this big lore drop right here. And he's like, no, I don't believe you. And then you have to kill yourself again. And then kill yourself again. And then kill yourself again. And every single time you have to go back and talk to Tholier.
At least there's a grace right there.
Yeah. At this point, you have to kill yourself in a very specific way. I'm not going to tell you how. That's all I'm going to say. But there's a I have got their dialogue to the I've exhausted all the dialogue in that area. The only thing I'm missing is if I had like one of the dark irises or the light irises, I could give that to them. I'm pretty sure and get their items. And that's like the only thing I'm missing from them. But I'm out of those because I spent one early on, and there's another light one I could pick up in the DLC. I don't know where it's at though.
Yeah, it's been a good. It has been overall a very very good expansion. I'm stuck on the Scorpion Rot boss. That's the fight I need to push forward, and then I also need to do the one in the fissure. I beat Crazy. That was the other one I beat. I beat the Crazy dude. I beat
nice. Oh, nice. Oh, here's one I messed up. I gave Jolin the light eye, and I got them as a summon, and I really wanted their sword, and you get their sword if you give them the dark one.
We'll have to figure out how to do that, because we can do that. We'll figure it out.
Oh yeah, well, someone else will pick it up and we'll get it. It's fine.
Yeah.
I plan on going and doing a new game plus again soon.
Just so
and
you can
going
do
back
that.
through and
Just so you can do the DLC.
getting all the NPCs. Well, you're supposed like it seems like every NPC has a good and a bad like ending that you can get depending on the eye you give them or something like that.
Yeah.
And you get something different from each one. From what I can tell, because it seems like at the end of at least most of the NPCs, I know of at least 3 NPCs that they end up like kind of catatonic at the end of their quest line, and if you give them an eye, then you get something, and depending on which eye you give them, you get a different item. So the DLC is meant to be played over and over again. The only tough part is that in order to do that, you're gonna have to beat the base game all the way through.
And beat it all the way through. You just got to beat Mog.
Yeah, but then in order to re-roll the whole thing again, you have to go beat the Elden.
Yeah, my game's at a point where I'm literally at the move on to New Game Plus.
Oh yeah, mine is. Oh no, I might need to beat the Elden Beast. But I can, as long as I kill Radon, I have a build that I can one-shot the Elden Beast. So. Yeah,
my game is post Elden Beast, where like everything's all crackly and red and bullshit, and the world is about to explode.
That build got stronger with with the DLC. There's a whole armor set that I found that actually increases the damage of Ancient Dragon cult spells, which my main like big boss killer is an Ancient Dragon cult spell. So
nice. But yeah, it has been a very, very fantastic game to play. Even just maneuvering around, even just running around. I will say the Winter Lanterns were a fucking pain in the ass. That was a huge pain in the ass. I've only found 3 of them, so I'm obviously missing some. But I actually
you can't kill them, so
I popped open my Map Genie. They've updated it with the DLC, so I'm marking off the graces that I found.
Yeah, I will need to probably I know there's items I'm missing. I know there's quest lines I haven't finished. Like I haven't finished Freya's. Hornsent just like vanished on me. I haven't finished Moore and Dane. Those are all people who are all like just like not around for me anymore.
Yeah.
So those are all people who are like just like they're around. They're just like not talking. Their dialogues are exhausted. Same with Leda. But I feel like Leda's questline isn't going to end until the very end of the DLC.
That tracks.
What was I gonna say? There's a few of the NPCs actually most of the NPCs I've finished. So Fire Knight, he's done. Yolan is done. Emir's done. The Dragon Priest is done. Tholia's done. Egon, I have a bug, I think, because you get at the end of Egon's questline, you get his bell bearing. But when I gave it to the bell bearing, um, uh, when I gave it to the bell bearing maiden, handmaiden in the what is it in the main in the what the fuck's the main hub? What are the main hub? It didn't unlock a new store for me, which is like really weird.
Interesting. But yeah, so it's been good. It's been fun. It's been awesome. I've been thoroughly enjoying it. The bosses have been super fun. They've been very difficult. The normal just dodge has been very difficult. Some of the timings on them are very hard. So yeah, it's it'll be interesting to see what kind of playthroughs we get people doing.
So the one boss,
in the future.
The only boss that's made me rage, that's actually made me rage, apparently is everyone is complaining about him. Everyone, like I've watched like a couple of like talks about this exact thing about like, oh, everyone's like hating the DLC because it's so hard. Everyone then brings up this boss, the boar boss Gaius, and saying he is a bad fight. He is he is absolutely like horrific. I have seen 2 ways to cheese him though. I beat him, but I used the summon and then I used rot. But there's if you hop right when you enter the room, if you hop on your horse, go right, and then right before he catches up to you, U-turn, and then go around the corner and hide like in the corner, like behind. He'll get stuck on the wall, and then if you pull out Moog's trident and then just use the Ash of War on it, you'll bleed Gaius to death.
That's hilarious.
And then I saw another person who was built with like you do high level for this one, but he's built massive armor using the fingerprint shield and then just guard countering the entire fight. A lot of people have been. It seems like they're. I've seen some people are actually going through the entire expansion just doing that. It seems like almost every boss is pretty easy to guard counter, I guess. So, and there is a new hammer in the DLC that actually, dope. Yeah, that hammer it has improved guard counter. So, it's pretty good.
Yep. So, anyways, I think we're pretty much wrapped up. I know it's been kind of a shorter news episode. We'll probably have a ton of stuff to talk about with Dawn Trail. We'll probably have to do a 2-parter where we give our overall feedback and then do a spoiler edition because there's going to be a ton of stuff to talk about.
The real thing is like in a month from now, there's going to be a lot of drama and a lot of news around 14 because there's going to be some random bullshit that everyone's screaming about for the Savage Raid.
Yep.
So there's gonna be some stuff.
From what it looks like, that's probably the funniest. Okay, so that was probably the funniest thing from the live letter. I don't know how much of the live letter you actually watched. If you watched like if you went through and watched the whole thing.
I skimmed it, I think.
Okay, so there was a piece. There was a piece where they were showing off the first fight for the Savage Raids.
Oh yeah.
And they were like if you look at all the slides from information about the Savage Raids, they were questioning out the name of the Savage boss and blah 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 blah. And then they got into the fight, and they forgot to cover the duty finder in the upper left, and they were like, we made all this like point to like not spoil it, and then we forgot to cover the duty finder, so now you know what the first boss is. Like now you know roughly what the first boss is. It looks like a tournament. Like that's the way it's set up. Is like you're inside of an arena where there's an announcer with the tournament, and
the name translates to like round 1 or something like that.
Yeah, it's like round 1 or something like that. So it looks like round 1. I wonder if that's going to translate to like R1, like R1S, R2S, R3S.
I could see it actually us making it R for round if it's a fighting tournament
because of A already being taken, or from not A, yeah, because it's the Arcadian.
Yeah, Arcadian, yeah. A's already taken.
Alexander.
Yeah, and then like you can't do like, oh, it's a tournament, right? So the T, no, that's taken by
Turn
coils.
by
Yeah,
Coil's turn.
yeah. So I could definitely see us making it like round, because I mean, like if you look at a lot of a lot of them, it's not necessary. I guess coils is the only one that's letter is actually taken from the name of the individual events. Everything else is like pandemonium. It's P's, Eden. It's E, Omega. It's O. So, but I can definitely see Dontrell us just doing that, just taking like something about like the naming scheme of each of the things.
Fights, yeah.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, we will definitely be doing a massive spoiler-free section and then a big spoiler section for Dawn Trail. We'll have almost 2 weeks under our belt, or over a week under our belts at that point. Bard and I, if you are not familiar, we are already planning to static for a potentially first month clear is what our hope is. So we'll be streaming that as well, and then we're also going to be doing the normals and the EXs the first couple weeks that they after they drop. So
Mount Farm.
Yes, so we'll be doing those. That'll be fun.
Oh
very
my
exciting.
god, that's what I'm excited for. Did you see the fucking mounts for the EX mounts?
Their wings.
I'm so happy, dude. And I saw the wings, and I was like, "Oh my god, it's an amazing mount! Holy shit!" And then it's the fucking EX ones, which means they change for each of them. I want to know what the
Wing of Wings.
The wing of wings, yeah, the level, the one at the end of the expansion is going to be.
You mean it's not going to
insane.
be, it's not going to be something completely different that doesn't even match up with
it's gonna be a chair with wings on it, and you sit in the chair.
For those that aren't part of the joke, every expansion they come out with these things called extremes or EXs, and there's 7 of them. And when you get all 7 of the mounts, you do a quest, and it gives you this mount of mounts. In every single game up until now, it has kept with the theme of what the mounts are. So ARR is ponies. There's a ponies of ponies, right? And then there's birds for Heaven's Word. There were dogs for Shadowbringers, or for Stormblood. There were dragons for Shadowbringers, and then for Endwalker there were lynx. But when you got the links of links, it was a dragon carrying a chair.
To be fair, Shadowbringers also deviated, because I mean, a lot of people are mad. Oh yeah, we get the Dragon of Dragons. What's the Dragon of Dragons? A mecha dragon? What?
It's still a dragon, though. It's still a dragon.
It's a mecha, though. Why did we get a
two-seater
mecha?
dragon.
I don't. Yeah, that'd be cool. It'd be cool to get a 2-seater dragon. Why'd it have to be a mecha?
Because they exhaust all the elements. Because that's the way it is. I don't know.
You could have made it. You could have made it like a 5-headed dragon or something.
I don't know. I don't begin to understand these things. I don't develop games for a living. So, anyways,
well,
all right.
I think
Wrapping.
We already set our plans, which is
We are sort of, yeah. So this week I'm actually going to be popping up another 3D print stream, probably for a 3-day stream, right before launch. If you want to be part of deciding which dice tower gets made, jump in the Discord server and you guys can vote, because I'm going to put a vote up and see what people want to do. I'm going to give them like 4 options and we're going to go from there. Yeah, if you want to be a part of the vote, just jump into the Discord so that you can vote on which tower gets to be on the stream. And I think that's how I'm going to do it from here on out, is we'll just vote on it. Other than that, yeah, Bart, I think you're doing Elden Ring tomorrow.
I will be doing Elden Ring at least tomorrow, probably the next 2 days, because it'll probably be tomorrow. I might finish the DLC. I'm at the final area, and then I might have like some cleanup on Wednesday to do.
Yeah,
maybe, or it might be Monster Hunter that day, and then yeah, and then no stream Thursday, and then maybe a stream Friday. We'll see how things go on that.
So, anyways,
but then
all right,
Saturday,
guys.
kind of story.
Yeah, as always, As it is podcast nights, we do not raid. Thank you guys for joining us tonight. We will see you guys in 2 weeks on the next podcast or individually on our streams. Have a great night, guys. See you on the next one.